Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today and thank you for your support. Today I'm going to be talking about a title that goes under the radar as far as living stereo, but it shouldn't be overlooked, and that is Guitar Concertos by Julian Bream. This is the Analogue Productions reissue of this title. The original is very elusive. I've never found one in all my years of collecting living stereo, which I started in the 80s. I did find other Julian Bream records though, and I'm going to show you some of those, as well as talk about the influence that the Absolute Sound had on record buyers at that time, and still is influential today in what record companies are releasing. That's probably one reason why we're getting this in the Analogue Production series, because it appeared in one issue, or many issues, of the Absolute Sound Super Disc list. This was a Bible for record collectors at the time. The Absolute Sound Super Disc list, its importance can't be overstated. I remember seeing collectors with handwritten notes and booklets with all the titles they wanted from Harry Pearson's list. And they would be in the record stores checking against their list and sometimes fighting over a record. Yeah, it was pretty widespread as far as classical record collecting went. So it has an influence on this being reissued, but there are many other great Julian Bream discs, and I'm going to show you a couple that are actually really nice. They're from the Soria or Soraya series, as you wish to pronounce it. This one is called the Julian Bream Consort, an Evening of Elizabethan Music. It is in a box, a lift-top box, well, opening booklet box, and has inset artwork. So this artwork and the artwork inside the included booklet is all tipped in, printed separately and tipped in like this and pasted in. These are beautifully done. These are printed in Switzerland by Skira, and each of the Soria series releases come with these. This is another one, the Golden Age of English Lute Music. This one came in a hard slip case like this. So the format differs sometimes depending on the title. This one also has a great book. This is the book for this one. And just beautiful, beautiful color printing from Skira in Switzerland. Very nice editions. There are some that have the wooden dowel like we see on the UHQR series. And those are like Handel's Messiah, Verdi's Requiem, the Royal Ballet Gala. So that's where Chad got the idea for those. And they're really great to find in the wild. I'm so glad I found those. But I never found this one, and part of the reason is because of the Absolute Sound. This is remastered by Ryan K. Smith at Sterling, cut from the original analog tape, which sounds to be in very good condition. This wasn't reissued often, so I don't think that tape got a lot of play, unlike some of the big hitter living stereo titles where you can tell there's some tape problems. But this one seems to be perfect, and this was recorded in England, so it doesn't say who recorded it. I have a guess it was Kenneth Wilkinson, but if anyone knows, I'd love to hear in the comments the truth about who recorded this. It is with the Melos Ensemble. There's two compositions on this. So one is an early music composition, or an early classical composition called Giuliani's Guitar Concerto. It was written in 1808 by Mauro Giuliani, who was a preeminent musician and composer of classical guitar repertoire. And his two concertos and his fantasias are still in the repertoire today and are frequently performed and recorded. The second composition on this, on side B, is Arnold's Guitar Concerto. So this was written in 1958 specifically for Julian Bream to perform. He did the premiere of it, and he recorded this for RCA. This is the title that was actually listed in the Absolute Sound Superdisc list, the Arnold Guitar Concerto. Really, the sound is very similar on both sides, but the Arnold gives a little more space to have a subtle sonic thrills that I'm sure appealed to HP at the time, and he felt that that was the piece that deserved to be on the Absolute Sound Superdisc list. But you won't be disappointed with the sound on either composition. This is a record that I think that audiophiles, especially if they have only been focused on the reissue series of the last 20 years, like Chesky, like Classic, and somewhat with AP Living Stereo, they're collecting the big orchestral spectaculars. They want to show off their system. They want to hear those big crashing crescendos. And this is a different kind of sonic thrill. It's a subtle sonic thrill. It's elegance, it's beauty, and it's exquisite. It's exquisite. It's beautifully done. There's beauty throughout both of these compositions, and part of it is the wonderful technique of Julian Bream. His virtuosity is evident throughout both of these discs. You have to be a virtuoso to play these compositions. Moro, Giuliani, was a virtuoso as well. Arnold composed this for a virtuoso, and he really brings it to the table on this. It's beautifully done. Every note is in place. Every note is articulated. The sound on the guitar is excellent. There's no smearing of notes. There's no blurring. Everything is precise and done with the appropriate emotional touch. The modern composition is a little more abstract, but it still has a lot of beautiful guitar playing in there. And the ensemble on both pieces is small, but really effective and well recorded, well balanced with the soloist. That's one thing I noticed about this disc is, unlike so many concerto discs where the soloist is kind of overly spotlit, this kind of is more in tune with each other. So it's part of the same fabric. And it's a delight to listen to. Hearing this on streaming, I was attracted to it naturally, but I was not prepared for how much different the record sounded. It sounded like a different record, a much better record. It just draws you in. This sound is spectacular in a subtle way, and I can't recommend this highly enough. This is something that, please check it out on streaming. Make sure it's something you like. It's $40. It's a lot of money, but it's $40 well spent, in my opinion. I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be in my top 10 of the AP Living Stereo catalog. It's certainly a gem that's often overlooked, and it shouldn't be, because it's number one. It's really, really good. Very, very good. And I think you'll love it. Just check it out on streaming and let me know what you think. If you got the record, I'd love to hear from you as well. Until next time, I'm Scott for The Pressing Matters. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.